Hi and welcome to my channel. Now I want to apologise for a few things. The echo in the room is really bad. I can hear it myself just talking to you, so I do apologise for that. Decorating in this room will be done very soon. It's next on the list and I can get cracking then properly. PC is making a racket as well, but I just wanted to put in a quick field video, and this field video is well, kind of like one of my people that come on and leave a few messages here and there that come along and bother to look at my videos. Left a message saying that I was doing these speakers upgrade and say you should check this site out. This bloke does some upgrades for the different speakers, and it's something you may want to do to your and upgrade it a different way slightly. PC slowed down a little bit, that's good. Anyway, I went to the bloke's site and kind of flicking through all the different upgrades and things he does, and I've never seen these before. HiFi fuses. So let's just see what an HiFi fuse is. An HiFi fuse is like you've got your plug. Now you may have just a normal plug on the end of your piece of equipment. I always say to change the plug if you buy anything, especially these second-hand items that I kind of deal with on this channel. Change the plug, because more often than not these pins are all dirty, they're kind of gone green, all that kind of stuff. So change the plug, that's going to give you a better connection. Obviously you can't change the wall plug, but you could do if you know how to do it, but this is fairly straightforward. If you know how to do it, you may want to get an electrician, because you may have a dirty wall plug as well. Not going to help it that much at all. Anyway, going back to this is the fuse that goes in that plug. Or you may have another lead and you can take the plug off and put it in the plug. Now it does also go in the back of the amplifier sometimes you've got a fuse in the back of the amp as well. In fact, you could have a couple. You could have one in the plug and you could also have one in the amplifier. So bear that in mind as we go through this video. Now this video, like I say, I kind of stumbled upon this bloke's site and he sold fuses. And I think on his site this fuse is just a mere 70 quid. And if you install this fuse, it's going to improve your HiFi. You're going to get greater separation, greater transparency, a better sound stage, everything. It's going to enhance your pleasure. It's going to be less distortion, all that kind of stuff. That little fuse is going to bring to your HiFi system. Now, I'm not saying I'm a skeptic in most cases, but I must admit I'm pretty skeptical on this one. I usually sit on the fence on a lot of things, but I completely fell off the fence, laughing, I think, more than anything else. I don't know, how can I put it, undermine anyone or anything like that, or take the mickey out of anyone else, but I just can't see it, and I just thought I'd put this video up there. I know one or two people have probably bought these fuses, what they actually think, an honest opinion of what they think, because obviously you go to some of these sites and people leave a review and you don't know who they are, them people, but an honest review, how this little fuse can make this much of a difference. Now, it's just not an audio neither, because I've been around a few different sites, etc. Now that 70 quid, it's not the dearest, and we'll come to that in a minute, and it's not the cheapest. You can probably pick up one of these fuses from AliExpress, something like that, I think, for about £3 or £4. And for instance, there's one here that's about £21, but we'll come to that in a second, because it gives you more detail what this fuse is actually made of, how it's making this difference. But I was reading about as well these different claims that these manufacturers and people selling these fuses, that not only can it enhance your HiFi, it can also, if you've got a TV, an LCD TV, anything like that, and the picture's not that great at the moment, well, don't worry. You can pop one of these fuses in your plug and it enhances that picture. You're going to have better definition, you're going to enhance that picture, the blacks are even more blacker, the colours pop, anything you want this fuse can do. That little fuse in your plug, that's going to sort it all out for you. And I was telling the wife about it, and a few friends as well, and I've got a few friends that are electricians that's actually gone and done a 7-year course, all that kind of stuff into electronics, electricians and that kind of thing. I've not done any of them courses myself, and yeah, they're very sceptical, let's put it that way. But like I say, the wife was quite interested. Went one for the kettle. So I was hoping that if I did get one, that the tea may taste a little bit better, because it's not that great. Oops, not the camera over there, but it's not that great, but don't tell her anyway. Okay, going back to this fuse here. This is on AliExpress. This is done by DUDO Audio. Dud-O Audio. Clue maybe in the name there, I don't know, but there you go. So I want to just flick through a few pictures here. Where are we? Here we go. I'll put them up on the screen so you can see it. But there they are. They do it for £20.94, this fuse. and it's called a Gustar, not custard, but a Gusted fuse. And lucky enough, they actually show you what's inside. It's going to make the difference to the sound, you know, it's really going to improve it. So let's just rewind a little bit, and our electricity, basically speaking, we're not going to go into it in mega detail, how it reaches your house. I mean, it comes from a kind of power station, you know, maybe wind, maybe coal, wherever it, however, you know, it could be electric, you know, solar panels, however it's generated at that end, goes into the power station, then it usually gets amplified a lot through a transformer, comes over the overhead cables, the pylons you see down the road, comes back down, gets lowered back by a transformer into a substation, then to a distribution station down your road into your house. And that journey could be 20 or 30 mile worth of cable, could be a 10 mile worth of cable, but let's just narrow it right away down to the distribution, even though I can't say it, centre near you. And mine's about half a mile away. I looked it up to find out where it was. It's about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile away, something like that. So I've got half a mile, 3/4 of a mile cable. Whoops, that's come up in here as well. 3/4 of a mile cable coming to my house, obviously spurring off everywhere to everyone else's house along the road and all that, coming to me, into my house, into my fuse box, and into all my sockets around the house. So at the moment, that electricity's travelled quite a long way. But this little fuse, that's probably a millionth of the journey, is going to sort all that out for us. It's going to really improve the sound. So I just can't see it myself, you know, I just cannot see it. But anyway, let's carry on. We're going to have a look at this side of this fuse now. So flick through a few pictures. There it is, the Gustar. Now, one important thing, you just can't put this fuse in any old out. You've got to put it in the right way round. It's got a little arrow on it to show you which way round this fuse actually goes. Because you put it in the wrong way round, oh dear, it'd be unlistenable really. That's the end of the day, you probably ain't going to be able to listen to that. And God knows if you stuck it in your TV or something like that, probably bugger it right up. So make sure you put the fuse in the right way, because if you the BBC one, you probably end up watching ITV, something like that. So make sure you've got it in the right way. Little arrow there indicating the right direction. Now this is where things get a bit silly now, because we've got the arrow going in the right way, so you think, well, I'm going to put it in this way in the plug, up to bottom or bottom to one, whichever way they want you to put it with that arrow, they do tell you. So make sure you put it that right way in the plug. Otherwise, like I say, it's not going to be that great. But where things get a bit sillier now is that the site actually shows you, just in case you've got it on the back of your amplifier, you know, they just put a general amplifier here, it could be your one, it could be any amplifier going really. They show you, just 1 second before I come to that, let's just show you what it's made of. There's a picture there, and there you can see the wire. This is obviously, you know, enlarged. There's the fuse sitting down, and it goes through high quality quartz sand first of all, your wire goes through, and it goes through nano copper powder. You've got alloy mist broken wire. It's all handmade, gold, copper ends and the copper. Don't worry about your plug, I mean that could be all rusty, but as long as it's got a copper end on the fuse, that's going to sort all that out. And there you go, there's a picture, you can have a little look yourself. Anyway, going back to the which way round you're supposed to have this fuse, and make sure you don't get it wrong, whatever happens, is they actually show you a picture here, the back of the amplifier with the arrow showing you which way to put the fuse. And that's really handy, because they've got no way of knowing what your amplifier's been wired up like. They would not know which way that wire has been wired up. So for instance, the reason I'm saying is that if you can imagine the bottom of this amplifier here, and that fuse is going in, it's going to go into 2 prongs. It'll be tin, these are the 2 prongs of that fuse, and this is the fuse. I know it isn't, but this is the fuse. And it's going to push against them 2 prongs and make the contact. Now they've got no way of knowing if this wire here is coming from the outlet, from your plug, or if it's going to the amplifier, back into the amplifier itself, or if it's this one. So there's no way of knowing which wire is doing what. Yet they take that fuse only that way round. So that doesn't make any sense at all, because that could be any amplifier, and they're all going to be wired up differently. They're not all going to be wired up the same. Put in the fuse that goes underneath the plug socket. It's just not going to happen. You know, they could be wiring that up any way round really. So kind of like puts a big doubt in it there. I mean, how would they know? And if you had one of these fuses at the back that unscrew and you push it in and screw back up, again, how would they know which wire is in what position there? There'd be no way of knowing really. It'd be really down to the manufacturer who made that amplifier, and they're not going to They're not going to follow a set pattern just in case you buy one of these fuses. That's not going to happen. They're just going to do it willy-nilly, whichever way they feel. So that throws a big spanner into the works of which way round you should put this fuse. And don't forget, if you put it the wrong way round, you're going to have problems. And also, you can go to other sites. I'll quickly flick through this. Like I say, this fuse here on this site's 21. You can get it for free. Other places do it for 70. But this site here, they're just £4,200 each for the fuse. So let's make sure you don't get a short and blow it, whatever you do. So yeah, just 4,200, and obviously that's going to sound better than the £70 one. That goes without saying. But there you go. So that's it. I just wondered what people out there thought, who's used them, and have they actually heard a difference? Because it can't possibly be a difference, because it's just a piece of wire that long going through the fuse, and it doesn't matter what's surrounding that wire, because you know, if this was the wire, say the pen, it doesn't matter what's surrounding it, because it's just fresh air on the other side of it. It's just not going to make any difference whatsoever. What's surrounding it, it's going to make no difference whatsoever. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. You've got the cable going down the street, surrounded by concrete. I mean, you'll be digging that up soon and putting this special sand in instead, and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like I say, I'm usually sitting on the fence most times, thinking, oh, not to have heard it and whatever. But I don't think I'll be wasting £10 or any pounds. I don't think buying one of these fuses that. Like I say, I spoke to a few experts. I say experts, they've done the course, know a lot about electricity, how it's generated, how it works, how to wire things up, all that kind of stuff, and obviously some electronic people as well I spoke to, and myself. Not that I'm not an expert in electronics, but I'm sure putting a little bit of sand and a gold-plated cap each side in your plug is not going to suddenly make that more transparent sounding, bigger sound stage. The treble's much more sweeter, and you could hear it a lot better. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. But then again, I thought I'd get your opinions and your views. And this, like I say, is just a little fill video until I get myself sorted out with the old paintbrush. Until the next video, I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.